Okay, and starting in 5, 4.
And this is Roz Elliott with Local 1 News here at FauxPop Media at the stage. And we've been connecting live all afternoon with various people and getting in touch with our local officials, and both on the municipal level, provincial and federal. And right now I'm very pleased that we have the opportunity to speak with our MPP, Lisa Thompson, who of course is also the Minister of Government and Consumer Services. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I applaud your radio station for making yourselves available to make sure we get the proper messaging out, and we're in a position where we can update our communities in terms of steps that have been taken today, because this is unprecedented, and it's a very fluid situation. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that, and it really does feel like, Minister, that it's evolving quickly. I mean, we've just had a press conference from the Prime Minister, and certainly Premier Ford has also commented. So the wheels are spinning quickly, aren't they?
Yes, they are. But what I can assure you and everyone listening is that I'm really, really pleased at how all 3 levels of government locally are working together. We were on the phone yesterday and with our municipal leadership, as well as our MP, Ben Lobb, and we're coordinating all of our efforts. I was just speaking to Dr. Klassen, our local medical officer of health, and I'm really impressed with how well everyone's rolling up their sleeves and making sure we're aware of steps that are taken, as well as being available at the drop of a hat to assist anyone that needs it.
That's a great point, Minister. In a sense, we heard yesterday from the Huron Perth Health and Dr. Klassen, and of course introducing that we had our first case here in Huron Perth, and just how exceptional that they are handling that, communicating that, and helping people understand what's real and what isn't, right?
Absolutely. And again, I think it's really important, and Dr. Klassen probably shared this with you yesterday, but the case that we have in Huron Perth is a person that came home after traveling. And I want to impress on everyone at this time, and I was just speaking to Dr. Klassen moments ago, we have not had one case whereby it's been transmitted in the community. And that's good news. And I want to use that message to further encourage people to take all precautions necessary. Let's make sure that COVID-19 is not spread throughout our communities. So take very seriously the ask for social distancing, the natural hygiene practices that we've heard about, as well as making sure if you don't have to travel or you do not have to, if you can, I'll say it this way, if you can make arrangements with your employer to work at home, we encourage everyone to do just that.
And that's a good point. I know I've been talking to some individuals who, you know, they're concerned about perhaps they're not eligible for employment insurance because they don't have an employer, they're self-employed. And I know that there's probably things coming down the pike that will address that short with. But those are types of the things. Have you been hearing things like that?
Yes, absolutely we have. And I can tell you that our provincial cabinet is meeting again at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
We're taking very quick, assured steps to bring certainty throughout our supply chain, as well as throughout our communities, to ensure that not one person is missed. And we want to hear from people as well. If anyone wants to call in and leave a message or send an email to me via my office, I encourage them to do so, because knowing what the reality is enables us to discuss at the cabinet table what the next steps are that we need to be taking.
That's excellent, Lisa, because we're hearing a lot of that. So we'll pass that along to you as well. But please continue.
Yeah, please. Right now, when things are so fluid, the best thing we can do is ensure good two-way communication, so that we know what the reality is, at home, at the local level, and I can bring that back to the Premier and the rest of the cabinet.
That is so helpful because, you know, people try to problem solve in their own little groups and are questioning what will the government decide, but you want the opinion or the real need to really assess what should be done.
Yes, absolutely. And we're doing that at all levels of government as well. For instance, with regards to the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services, we're working very closely with Service Canada and to make sure that we're coordinating in terms of the services that Ontarians need here in our province and at home at the local level in Huron and Bruce and Perth. And we also are making sure that our supply chain is still moving. I can tell you with certainty that making sure the supply chain continues to move is a number one priority for our Premier as well as our Cabinet.
And that makes sense with Ontario being the largest province and certainly with the density of, well, we know in our community agriculture, but certainly manufacturing, et cetera. Ontario is a big engine for the Canadian economy.
Absolutely it is. And again, this is a very fluid situation. Our provincial news conference that we had at 11 o'clock today spoke to how our Minister of Labour is taking a look at the type of legislation that will bring certainty to Ontario workers and their families. Minister Elliott, as our Minister of Health, is just doing a stellar job with the Provincial Medical Officer of Health and with their command table. They're right on top of everything. You may have heard through that news conference as well. Provincially, our Minister of Finance, Minister Rod Phillips, is going to be releasing on March 25th an economic and fiscal update as opposed to a full budget, because we want to ensure that Ontarians know we're being reactive and proactive in the sense that we're going to be providing a plan that reflects our current reality and includes robust resources for our healthcare system, direct support for people, employers, and employees, and action to protect jobs and our economy. So
that's good.
What our focus is at right now.
We might, when we get closer to that date or just after that date, we might ask to speak with you again to see if you could help translate that for the riding of Huron Bruce and what that could mean for folks here.
Certainly, Rod. That would be my pleasure. We can set that up for you.
What I'm really impressed, and as you say, upon the coordination and cooperation of all levels of government, it really feels like Canada is one advantage that we're getting out ahead, and that we have the luxury of maybe a week or so advance notice, but Canada really seems to have rallied together strongly. Do you have that feeling?
Absolutely. I can tell you from personal experience within my ministry, it's stunning how many people are coming forward saying, how can we help you? From major corporations through to Dollarama. Everybody's coming forward, recognizing this. As I mentioned at the outset, this is unprecedented times, and I think it truly reflects the Canadian spirit as well as that sense of community that we're so fortunate to have back home in Huron Bruce.
I agree with you. And Huron Bruce thanks you and everything that you're doing provincially and that all the levels of cooperation. Any advice, any last parting words that you would share for the constituents of Huron Bruce that you want to provide?
Again, thank you for that, Rod. I would just encourage anyone, if you have any questions or any ideas or suggestions, don't hesitate to email me or give me a call and leave a message. And please take very seriously the precautions that everyone has been asked to respect. Keep your social distance at this time. You know, we want to contain and ensure that the COVID-19 virus does not spread throughout Huron County, and that's going to take everyone's cooperation.
That's great advice. I have been chatting with our MPP for Huron Bruce and the Minister of Government and Consumer Services, Lisa Thompson. And we know that Lisa Thompson, our minister, has been very generous with her time and will be back in touch with us as we need and as things escalate and evolve. So thank you again for that, Miss Thompson and our minister, and we wish you all the best in all your efforts.
Thank you so much, Rod, and we'll certainly stay in touch.
Okay. Good day.
Good day. Bye for now.